Start.
I'm having one of those days where nothing goes how I planned. Things I'm going through, nobody really understands. Well, I've been kicked, well, I've been down, but I live to fight another round. Yeah, I stood my ground, and I'm stronger now. Well, I keep fighting, I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon, knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. Well, I'm still fighting. Have you ever been forgotten about or left behind? You wanted to run, decided to stand and fight. You played the fool, you've been abused. You might not have a thing to prove, but I hate to lose. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. Well, I keep fighting, I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon, knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. Well, I'm still fighting, fighting. I just keep fighting. Well, I'm still fighting, I won't be silent. So many chapters in my life that still need writing. I just keep driving, keep my eyes on the horizon, knowing soon I'm gonna find that silver lining. Just like Daniel and the lions, David and Goliath. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. I won't buy it. The devil says I'm done, but I won't buy it. I won't buy it. Well, I'm still
Hello, guys, and welcome to the broadcast. And I want to welcome all of you again. But we're just getting started, guys. Let's give them a little bit to show up. I think we've got 3 in here again.
This is the song I had to write. It's been keeping me up all night. It's all wrong, what's going on? I'm just doing all I can to make it right. You ask me why I stand up and fight. I do it for love, I do it for freedom. Nothing but life and no meaning. For my sisters, for my brothers, working man and all the single mothers.
No. You got it, you got it. No. It's a one-man band here, right? Anyways. Well, we've got, it says 6 in here. And you liked my Swift video on Swift trucking? You like that one? Dino? Um, is this roller working? Can everybody hear me okay? Just send me a little yes. Does this roller work? I mean, or does it just fill up, or what is the story here? I'm trying to read comments here. One of the things I do on every show is I play music ahead and behind of the show. And that is some time for you to get acquainted with other patriots that are in the channel. And you get to know, oh, okay, it's working. Okay. So you get to say hi to everybody. You know, like a good thing is to say what province you're in, like when you come on, eh? Ontario. Who's in Ontario right now, anyway? And okay. Ontario or Manitoba or Alberta, just put your province in there when you come in and when you're going out. Say hi to your other patriots because we're all trying to unite. And that's the biggest thing we have to do. How come others get kicked off for music copyright? Well, for 2 years now, me and Jamie Nix have been, partners, friends in this endeavor of trying to help our country. We're both on the same page. He's a good friend of mine. I'm a good friend of his. And we're all together in a big team. That's Jamie Nix's music, okay? And we're all on a big team trying to get everybody to unite and understand what has happened to the country. Ontario, right on, Dino. State of Tennessee, USA, right on, USA. And I talk a lot, a fair amount about USA too, and right on. I'm glad USA is. I'm glad USA is in here. Where did USA go? Oh yeah, there he is. Freedom believer, right on. USA, right on. Trump's got to win down there, guys. Freedom, right on. Makes sense. Thanks. Okay, so anyways, big thing, and the guy, freedom believer, you should know this. Donald Trump has now bypassed the CDC and is taking all the COVID patient numbers directly to the White House. Okay? So, from my understanding, Trump is after the real numbers of COVID patients and so on. Well, I don't know about that one. I am. So you get to know each other. Now, the main thing in this channel is we're dealing with, in Canada, a very corrupt government. Now, that is the main focus of this movement. This is not about whose skin color is what or anything of that nature, because that's not the target. A racism card is only a card to try and shut people up and get them distracted from the focus, and the focus is a very corrupt government. Now, I don't know about, USA in your state, but up here in Canada, we have a guy up here who is a traitor to this country, and he just happens to be the Prime Minister. His name is Justin Trudeau. And for the third time in a row, he is being pulled up in front of the Ethics Commissioner for now this time is kind of like an embezzlement because he has swindled a deal with a private little outfit so that him and his family can benefit from the rewards. A very sneaky little downright underhanded thing to do because of the amount of money involved, 400 million or some goddamn thing, and how many homeless, how many poor people, how many different services, the elderly, for example, could that have helped? Okay, but no, he wants to shuffle that money into the We Foundation, and again, I'm sorry, Canadians, I just got caught again, and I'm so sorry. That is his excuse. I find it a very insulting matter indeed, okay, that he would just come out and apologize that everything is okay, guys. I'm just so sorry that I got a little crooked again and, at Canadian taxpayers' expense. And that's what this government is. It's corrupt from top to bottom. And there's no way to make a deal with these people because it's full of corruption. That's why we need an overhaul of our government in Canada. Because as it stands right now, we never ratified with the government, okay? The government never ratified with the people. And that's where it's a de facto government. An illegitimate government is what we have in Canada. That's the big problem, okay? Because it affects all of our lives every day in one form or another, whether it be you're paying out the ass for too much taxes or whether it's being affected that one day they're going to come into your house and start testing everybody for temperature and all this kind of crap. Invasion is what they're looking at. Invading. And as they do it, and you put up a fuss, or you don't follow the rules, you go to jail, get a ticket, or some form of punishment. Some form of punishment. Because you're not following the rules. Well, back in World War II, Hitler's rules were to take a bunch of Jews to concentration camps. Not just Jews, Polish, Russian, and others, to concentration camps. And they worked them to the bone, etc., etc. But it was all legal. That was the law. I mean, that was, it was okay to put a gun to a baby's head and pull the trigger. Because that was the law. It was okay to act like animals upon other people. It was the law. But how long ago was that? That was a long fucking time ago. Now, from past history, we're supposed to learn something here, okay? But at the same time, we have Black Lives Matter and Antifa trying to tear history down by taking away statues and somehow calling things out of sorts. I'm telling you, there's a war going on, people. It's a psychological war. And the people that are going to be out there trying to shame other people for not wearing a mask, or you know what I mean? They're going to try shame people. How come you don't have your mask on? I've seen it on some videos, 2 women attacked this guy in a mall, in a shopping center. Like, where's your mask, right? Like, really tried to degrade the guy because he didn't have a mask on. Crazy. Ludicrous. Okay? I mean, the mask isn't doing shit for you in the first place, except decrease your oxygen level. I already showed you that on the first live we did on YouTube. You've got to follow along here, people. You're causing yourself oxygen deprivation by wearing a mask, okay? That means reduced oxygen, right? People were not meant to wear masks on their face, because if they were, there would be some kind of a cover thing there, you know, like, because God made everything else all perfect. You could see through your eyeballs. You could work your hands. You can eat meat, you know, you can smell and all kinds of different things. I mean, surely, if it meant having to have some kind of covering on your face, God would have put it there. Don't you think? For a minute. But getting back to history, Antifa and these guys are trying to tear down all these statues and be the real movement. Like, this is what it's all about. I mean, we gotta rip this shit down. Gotta burn these houses down. We gotta shoot a few people. We gotta do this, gotta do that. Really? And they're gonna all bow down to your knees to these people. These are terrorists. They're here to fuck your life up. They ain't your friends. Black Lives Matter? No, I'm sorry. That's a racist statement to whites. Because it's all lives matter. Not just Black Lives Matter. Who the fuck are they to come in and start doing all this fucking shit? Why? They never picked a fucking bale of cotton in no goddamn field. I guarantee you that. These are assholes playing a race card. That's what they're doing. And you're all gonna sit there and fall for it? Really? Grow up here. And some little twerp out there named Darcy Peterson calls me a racist because I say all lives matter. Yeah? Well, that's a fact, Jack. And you want to come on it? You come on anytime. Don't be so fucking stupid. Common sense didn't go out the window of my friggin' house here, okay? Don't try to play me for an idiot when it comes to racism. Because in my book, buddy, or anybody, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And it doesn't matter what fucking color your skin is. Because you're all human beings. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It matters what's up here and how you treat other people. Respect is earned, not just given. So you take that little race card and shove it. And don't let it hurt you on the way up. Try use a little Vaseline there. But getting back to our corrupt government who plays along with this, Mr. Trudeau, he goes out with their protest and he bows on his knee with them. Yeah, he shuts down our entire country over a scam pandemic, goes out on a protest with Black Lives Matter, and kneels. Shuts down our whole country and kneels with Black Lives Matters. Well, I haven't seen him out there kneeling with any of our protests or listening or anything, okay? But yet here comes this race card that he plays in his speeches and at his conventions, and he plays that little race card so that he don't have to answer the tough questions. Because he deflects. That's what using the race card does. Deflects from the truth coming out, supposedly. Well, no, I'm afraid no. The truth is out there. And when you're playing that race card, you're just as fucking racist. You know why? because you wouldn't have to play it in the first place if you weren't. Simple. What we have on our hands, people, is a very corrupt government, and that is what we have to solve. The only way to do that is by constitutional conventions. And these constitutional conventions have to start in your committees, in your communities. Get talking to the people in your communities and put together a committee meeting. Because from the committee meetings, you've got to delegate a delegate, and all these delegates have got to go to a constitutional convention. And that's where this Constitution will get put together. It is not a matter of going and seeing a draft. It is a matter of protocol that this be done properly for it to be recognized internationally. And it's very important. Because if we don't accomplish this, at the moment, you don't have any rights. What you have are privileges. By accomplishing a constitution, you have rights. You take back your rights. You're taking back your country. And you're stopping the bullshit. That's what it means to do this constitution. And that is the only way to solve it. There is no other way. Because any other way is just more corrupted bullshit. You cannot start with anything. They're all fucked. And it runs deep all over the place. How do you think they got away with this great big human trafficking network that somehow has all of a sudden sprung up? These guys are corrupt and they're evil. This is a very, very important situation here, people, because of the dirty, underhanded stuff that these people do. Some of them, because they're rich, you see, and they've got this so-called protection going on racket, I mean, they're a member of parliament, and, I'm a police officer, and, you can't touch me because I'm untouchable. You know how much crime has been committed in this country? Lots. Do you understand that all this crime doesn't get reported, some of it? Lots. Because the media is bought off. The media puts out what they want you to hear. Social media, it comes from the kahunas, baby. And I proved that time and time again. We're human. Social media is your basic news outlet now. Okay? Because mainstream media, they don't want to tell you the truth. Never have. They only tell you what they want you to hear or what they're going to allow you to hear. They've got to keep everybody docile. Okay? As so they think. Once you wake up and you understand what the hell is going on, you begin to understand. And then when you do tune into the news, you know how big the lie is. You know kind of firsthand what they're up to. Because now you understand it. And when people are telling you, hey, there's something got to be done, and it deals with government, believe me, it's got to be done. This is not a joke. You have the right to do it because you're sovereign to this country. Anybody that's born in this country, I don't care what color your skin is, you're sovereign to the country. You have a right to put your foot down. You have a right to knock out the corruption. But you got to work for it. You got to work together. You've all got to work together. You've got to put your little differences aside, leave your baggage at the door kind of thing, and focus on what the country needs. When we're talking about governance, how much taxes are they allowed to take from you? Compared to now, they're just about taking everything. Well, Constitution writes for how much they can tax you, how much they can invade your privacy, your rights. Right now, you don't have rights because there is no Constitution of the people. No, it's not that. There is no racism, okay? I mean, just like I said, I'm not concerned about racism, okay? Somebody said, I hate Saskatchewan, too much crime from white and racism. Well, there is no racism. I mean, you know what I mean? It's a matter of whether you like someone or you don't like them. You cannot stop anybody from the way they think, okay? It's freedom of thought, freedom of speech, that's your freedom, fundamental freedoms. Nobody's going to change anybody's mind when it comes to a person's skin color. Nobody. It'll be with you till the day you die because you're human. Oh, let him be. Let him be. I don't care. I'm not erasing any comments. Listen, I am not going to erase any comments or anybody on this channel. That's your freedom of speech. If you want to come out and look like a retard, by all means. This is where it all gets raw, all the way down to the cornerstone. And if you want to come out and you want to be a part of what we're talking about, anybody, that's fine. You start coming out and looking like a jerk, it's going to look like you're a jerk. Okay? Automatically, somebody already said something about something. I'm not going to get into it, but already somebody said something. Okay? It's not about race. It's not about anything like that. What this is about is a corrupt government. That is what this movement is. This is not about a skin color. This is not about what religion you are. This is a matter of our country and standing up for it so we don't lose our country. As long as you were born in Canada, you're sovereign to this country, and that is who I am talking to. Anyone else doesn't matter to me. They weren't born here. I'm only talking to sovereign people. If you're not sovereign to the country, you're wasting your time here. Because this only relates to sovereign people. And that doesn't matter what color your skin is. There's a lot of different types of people born in Canada. We've been multicultural, a multicultural society for decades. And now we can come together as Canadians, put our differences and bullshit aside, and look at our Canadian culture, because we're losing it to bullshit. Because people don't put their shit aside for a bit. Well, this is very important that you do. Extremely. Because it affects everybody, including you, including me. This thing that we're talking about affects every single person that will ever be born in Canada from here on out. And the message is out there, and it's very clear that there's a problem in our country. We are being jacked up the ass by a corrupt government. Now, you can continue to go down that road, or you can change it by getting together and working with the rest of Canadians and start working on a constitution. It's that simple. And that's the meaning of the broadcast. That's the meaning of the message and the reasons why. Because they're not going to stop. They're going to continue with this crap of a pandemic, okay? But I have a hunch that they're going to start to pull the reins in, because Trump has walked away from the CDC, which is pumping up numbers, which they're doing up here as well, I suspect, very closely. And they're also telling nurses they can't say anything. They're trying to bury everything as much as they can. But it's already out there in social media. Everything is out there, people. Stop being played. Stop sitting back and saying, okay, okay, okay. You don't have to. You only have to get together in your communities and start looking at a committee meeting. Committees. That's all you have to start doing right now. Start going into your communities, talk to your neighbors, tell them, hey, you know, it's got to start somewhere. It's got to start with all of you. One day at a time, and we're running out of time. That's a big problem. That's a very big problem. Because they're going to be coming in and trying to use tech against you. Technology at its finest. Whether it be a chip in your ass, or micro dust in your forced on vaccine, or right down to your card, because they want to go cashless. The only thing you'll be able to use is your card, and and your cell phone. If you don't have an app on your cell phone, maybe you're not going to get onto transit or be able to rent a car or buy groceries. That's how deceiving and serious this is trying to get. They're trying to have people go out there and shame people for not wearing a mask. They're trying to start this narrative. Oh, you don't have a mask on. You're a terrible person. Really? Because to me, you're only a stupid person, okay, by wearing a mask. Sorry, tit for tat, okay? These people are blind. If they were told to jump off a cliff, would they do it too? Somehow, I think they would maybe think for 30 seconds. Maybe 60. Maybe a minute or so. But they would jump off the cliff. Hard to say. But that is what it amounts to. Because you don't look outside the box, you don't look at the reality behind what's going on. Tell me that's not stupid. Really. Because that to me is pretty fucking stupid.
We swung wide open, living life without fear. Now I really don't know how we ever got here, ever got here. We let the little things pile up, we fence ourselves in. Sometimes you gotta tear it all down, start over again. Put the key in and drive. the desert. See those Vegas lights. Take a drive down Main Street. People do it all the time. People do it all the time. Cruise up to the mountains. Get close to the stars. If you find yourself unhappy where you are, just get in your car and drive. Send your mind on down the road. Pass everything you know. Turn your wheels and go. Just drive. Put some blacktop in front of you. Let those white lines run under you. Heading for somewhere. Leaving something behind. Just it don't matter at all. Just it don't matter at all. Just it don't matter at all. Just
I just seen this one here. Abdullah Assad. You agree there's KKK in Saskatchewan? No, I disagree with that 100%. I've never seen a KKK anywhere in my life, and I'm 60 years old in Canada. Born and raised, never seen a KKK member ever. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the show. I'm sorry you got in late, but on Facebook, we're also on Facebook. Look me up at Ruddi Bruce on Facebook, and we have the Ruddi Bruce broadcast group, and we have Patriots Uniting Canada group. We have the Yellow Jackets group, and I started another one, Ruddi Bruce's RV Life group. So there's lots there to get interactive with because we are working on this big problem. There's also a GoFundMe page that you can donate if you feel that you want to support the broadcast. And do stay in touch. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock again. Be here if you're concerned. You want to get things rolling? I want to get things rolling. This is going to be also going out to Facebook friends. Enlighten you as to, yes, Ruddi Bruce is live, is on YouTube from now on. We will still probably do the occasional live on Facebook, but most of the content will be here on YouTube. So until next time, guys, I'm just getting the word out there. Thanks for joining and being a part of the movement. Thanks very much. And don't forget, my hat's off to the guys at the